Back with another book review. Just finished The Fourth Wing with the sprayed edges. That would have been my second book for May and my 12th book of the year. This book is all over TikTok right now. Everyone loves it, and I'm the same. I gave it 5 stars. There are a few things that go really well in this book. The pacing is great. From page 1, the main character, Violet, she has an idea and a direction of where her life is going to go. She's supposed to be a scribe like her father was. And then her mother, who's a general, does a 180 and says, you are going to be a dragon rider. And so it's kind of like Divergent in that way that these jobs are something that like you live and you breathe. So like you live as a dragon rider, and that is your job for the world, for the kingdom. And so there are candidates who have trained for this their entire life, and Violet's not one of them. So she is already starting like in the back of the pack. She is not ready for this. You die. There are plenty of people who die in this book. So it is something that you should be scared of, is something you should be ready for, and she is not ready. And you see her go through that internal dilemma of she has to adjust her whole life in one page, in one moment. And so you really see that carry through for the first beginning of her dealing with this is her life and she has to survive, and she's in survival mode. And as the book goes on, you see her character arc just skyrocket. She becomes confident in herself, confident in her abilities, and you're really rooting for her in the end. My critique of this book is that in the beginning, it does feel very YA. So Violet is the daughter of a general. She doesn't want to be a dragon rider. That's not what she planned for her life. And she's on the smaller side. There is a love triangle. So very YA tropes in the beginning that feel very heavy. I did have a few eye rolls. However, you think the book is, she starts at this college to be a dragon rider, and by the end of the book, she either bonds with a dragon or she doesn't. That's what I thought the story was. But about 30 or 40% in, she either bonds with a dragon or she doesn't. So you're sitting there, more than halfway of the book is still left, and you're like, what's the rest of the story? So the beginning is really that. It is just the beginning. And then the story, the characters, the dynamic of it all just tenfold skyrockets. And at the end, there's a cliffhanger, and you're blown away. I was, at least. And I've already pre-ordered book number 2 because I can't wait. I can't wait to find out what happens next. The world building, there's so much it can expand on, but it is solid in its foundation. The author has teased that this is a 5-book series, so we are in for the long haul, and I hope that every book throughout this series is just as good as this one. The last thing I'll say about this book, because I really did love it so much, was the romance. Slow burn, it's enemies to lovers. There is kind of like a love triangle, but that's not the real main component of it. And it's perfection. It is worth the wait. So would I recommend this book? Yes, 100%. If you love dragons, if you love complex characters, if you love a great fantasy story, if you want to feel excited for what happens next, this is your book.